Hello and welcome to episode 50 of the Made by Mumino podcast. My name is Catherine and I'm filming here as usual from Mönchengladbach in Germany, which is kind of halfway between Dusseldorf and the Dutch border. And it's a very snowy day here today, so there might be some footage of the snow at the beginning of this episode, or possibly some nice footage of Wales, or maybe I'll put that at the end. I'll see what the footage looks like. Anyway, welcome, a huge welcome to you if you're new here, and a very warm welcome back if you've been here before. Everything I talk about in the episodes is linked down below. Any patterns, yarns, social media, podcasts I mentioned, techniques, anything like that is all linked down below. Oh, and speaking of which, thank you so much to the lovely Amber of A Lovely Yarn who gave me a shout out during her Vlogmas. It was really kind of you. Thank you for that, Amber. So yeah, we've had a few new faces here. So I thought I'd introduce myself a bit more. By profession, I'm a teacher, and I've lived here in Germany for getting on for 9 years, I think. Although before that I was living in Asia, most recently in South Korea, which is where I met my partner. So he was over in Korea on a business trip and we just met by chance. And yeah, I was ready to move back to Europe, so I thought I'd give Germany a try. And a couple of years later, moved in together, and here I am still. So yeah, it was a lucky chance, and glad that I followed what seemed like a risky decision at the time, but turned out to be a very good one. So yes, I'm having a lovely cup of coffee today. I had some new mugs. Well, my partner and I had some new mugs. My youngest brother and his wife gifted us a pair of these gorgeous little mugs for Christmas. Well, I suppose they're cups more than mugs. Really, really cute little mugs. And I'm drinking some coffee that my other brother gave us for Christmas that's delicious. So thank you for that, Tom. I really appreciate it. So yes, grab yourselves a drink and let's talk about some knitting. I've got a couple of finished objects to show you and lots of knitting plans to talk about. A little bit of admin. I normally podcast and release my episodes on a Monday, but I've had a little change of timetable this semester, so I'll be doing episodes on Tuesdays for the foreseeable future. So I hope that fits in okay with everyone. It's a bit strange for me, to be honest, to have a sort of change of routine, but you know, we'll get through it. It'll be fine. So yeah, let's start with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Field Day cardigan from Izzeta. If you've been here before, you've definitely seen this before. I'm not really one for beige knitting, but this colour just goes with everything. I wanted a nice neutral cardigan that I could wear over any of my dresses and things, and it would just look nice and cosy and comfy, and it definitely is that. So I knit the 4th size. I think there are 9 sizes in total, going up to, let me just check, I've got it in front of me. Yeah, going up from 97 centimetres to 173 centimetres, which is 38 to 68. So I knit the 4th size, which should give me a 50-inch bust size, but as I'm a 48-inch bust, or 120 centimetres, and I think I've got more positive ease than that now. So I think it's sort of stretched out a bit while I've been wearing it. I knit this on the recommended needles, 4.5mm or a US 7, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's a nice staple in my wardrobe. It was a fun DK pattern to knit, and yeah, it's really nice. I do recommend it. It's just a really simple drop shoulder construction. If I pull that down a bit, you can see the sleeve is down here. Yeah, it's just really comfy and cozy to wear, and as I said, it goes with everything, so happy days. The first of my finished objects to show you today are these beautiful socks. These are, I cast these on, I can't remember, when did I cast these on? I do have my Ravelry open here, but it'd be helpful if I could see the whole page. I started these on the 20th of December, and I finished them yesterday. And I thought I would really like a nice pair of dense DK socks to wear under my walking boots. So I held West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply in Mulled Wine Double. So every year West Yorkshire Spinners releases a sort of festive colourway, and this year it was this gorgeous sparkly red. It's really cool. And the contrast colour is Yavol, and and it's their sort of just standard sock yarn, but it's really nice and soft. So I just skeined up both of the, or caked up I should say, both of the yarns and did a centre pull ball and held it with itself. It does make quite a dense fabric. I think the 4-ply held double is denser than, what's it called? DK. Which reminds me actually, I can't remember if I said what yarn I used for this. I used woolly knit cones, and that was held double as well, which creates a nice DK weight fabric. I used just over a cone, I think, for this. So yeah, anyway, it's a really good price point, and it's a really good workhorse yarn. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I knit my usual sock recipe. I kind of use my own recipe, but I've put a nice pattern link down below for you if you're interested in starting off a pair of just basic 4-ply socks. I've also written really good notes about these on Ravelry, about the number of stitches I cast on and how I did the decreases, all that kind of thing. So if you're interested in making a pair of DK socks, feel free to use my notes, but there are far better tutorials out there. So yes. Yeah, this has made quite a dense fabric. I knit these on US 3 or 3.25mm needles, and they are thick. I think if I was making a pair to wear just under normal boots or around the house, I'd probably go up a size in the needle just to make it a little bit more squishy. But yeah, I'm really happy with these. They look really fun, and I will enjoy that little bit of red poking out of the top of my walking boots. So yeah, that's my first finished object. Okay, my next finished object is this colourwork cowl. Oh, I'm so happy with this. The colourwork has turned out beautifully. I can smell there's still quite a lot of spinning oil, I think, in this yarn, so I might block it again. But I've been wearing this for the past few days. I couldn't wait to wear it because it's cold and it's snowy here. And it's been absolutely perfect. So this was a kind of kit from the We County Yarns. I picked it up when I went to Wonderwall in Wales with my mum last year, and it came with 10 colours. All 10 colours are in here. They're also listed on my Ravelry page as well if you're interested in making something similar for yourself. And it's just a really, really simple chart. It's actually a free download that I've put a link to it down below as well if you're interested in making it. So you start with a provisional cast on. Actually, do you know what? I don't do provisional cast ons. I don't like crochet. I seem to be all fingers and thumbs when I try and do crochet, which is just bizarre because I can do really complex knitting. But anyway, so what I do when I'm casting on is I take my needle, I put a try-on cord onto the end of it and then hold it with the needle, and then I cast on around both of them. So then when I start knitting, the try-on cord stays through those first stitches, and then when I kitchen at the end, just make sure that your the kind of seam from the provisional cast on is inside whilst you're doing it. So you've got the wrong sides facing each other with that little seam tucked under, so that you're just picking up along the top of those stitches, and then you can't see where the seam is at all. Well, do you know what? Other knitters would be able to tell, but nobody else would be able to tell, but that's the seam there. And to be honest, I find that a lot easier than trying to crochet and pick up the stitches and then working out which bit of the crochet chain I need to remove. I'm sure that lots of you will be rolling your eyes at me at the moment, but yeah, what can I say? I'm a coward. So yeah, anyway, the kit came with 10 colours. They are all gorgeous. They're quite thin. I'll show you what they look like to start off with. I got one left. So they're quite a sort of thin 4-ply, but then when it's blocked, it just plumps up beautifully and becomes so much softer. I will definitely use their yarns again. In fact, I booked my flights yesterday to go to Wonderwall this year as well. So if they are there, I will definitely be picking up another little kit to make some more accessories, because this yarn is gorgeous. I was really foolish as I was making this. I didn't make a note of what each of the colours was called. So I've got a little pile of sort of pretty yarns now that I don't know what they're called. Do you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm planning on making some matching gloves to go with these. I'm planning on taking part of this chart, making the cuff using it, and then putting an ordinary glove onto it in this yarn here actually. Ooh, do you know what, actually I was planning on that but it doesn't go. I'll have to think of something else. I've probably got something else that'll be suitable. Ooh, that goes quite nicely. I've got lots of leftovers of that. Anywho, I digress. So yes, this cowl was knit on 3.25mm needles, which is a US 3 again, and I'm really happy with it. The chart recommended doing, I think it was 11 repeats, but I ended up doing 9 repeats because I wanted something that when I was wearing a coat, I didn't have to kind of pull it up. I wanted something that was sat there covering my face so that when I'm waiting on train stations and it's minus 12 degrees centigrade in the mornings or whatever, it was covering my face and I stayed nice and toasty and warm. I organised my colours randomly. So for the first set of repeats, I just picked the colours out at random, making sure I had one dark and one light in each repeat. And then I inverted the colours there. So you see this is the first row. Get through all of the colours until it gets to this point here. So it's got the same colour combination, just inverted. And by doing that, I've used the yarns quite evenly, so I've got little bits of all of the colours left over that can be used in other projects. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. Definitely recommend We County yarns. And yeah, happy days. So that is my last finished object for the day. So for my current WIPs, my nice big, what's it called? Advent blanket is progressing nicely. I'm just using a basic dishcloth pattern and just making it really, really big. And it was such a mindless knit. I did loads of it in the car when we were coming back from Wales. It's a 12-hour journey between where my parents live and here. And normally I would get lots and lots of knitting done during that, but the weather was atrocious. When we were driving, mostly in Belgium, there was really, really heavy snow. And well, for me, really, really heavy snow. I'm sure if you live in Canada or Finland, it's nothing. But, you know, for us, it was heavy snow. And for most of it, we were driving at 40 kilometres an hour. I don't know what that is in miles per hour. Just following the tracks of the car or the lorry in front of us because there was just no visibility and the highway was just covered in snow. It was very pretty, but it made for quite a sort of tense journey. And you know, we were both tired and you're getting towards the end of the journey and we were almost in Germany. So I didn't do very much knitting. I was just helping my partner to sort of navigate and watch the road and everything. So, but yeah, we made it home in one piece. So happy days. So yeah, I've got a couple of other WIPs. I'm still working on a hexagon scrappy blanket. I've got a slip over that I need to pick up again. But my main WIP that I'm working on at the moment, what have I done with it? Oh, there it is. It's under all these books. I'm making my partner the single malt sweater from Maxim Sia. Now, I did cast this on, I think, about a month ago, but I wasn't happy with it. How can I show this to you? Just hold it up like that. I wasn't happy with it. The pattern said to knit about that much for the collar, but my partner saw it and he just wasn't comfortable with it. He likes quite an open collar. To me, it always looks like they're too big for him, but it's what he likes, so it's fine. So I ripped it back. I took the opportunity to redo the cast on and I did an alternating cable cast on. To be honest, that's the cast on I learned from my grandmother when I first started knitting. And I think it's really, really neat for ribbing because you end up with that kind of the look where it sort of doesn't stop, it just continues going because as you're casting on you're making knits and pearls, and also it's quite a stretchy cast on as well, so it'll be very comfortable to wear. So I took the opportunity to redo the cast on and made the neck a little bit shorter. So the single malt sweater, if I haven't already put up a picture of it, I will do so, is this all over texture. You may remember from a previous episode that I was getting some wrist pain from doing this all over texture. When I started making my advent blanket, I was doing a different pattern. So touch wood, my wrist seems to be okay. If it's not, I will just stop the pattern put in some pearl rows, and then just do plain stockinette for the rest of it. But I'm hoping to get at least the yoke done in this beautiful pattern. My partner already has the cardigan version of this. I did a test knit for Maxim Sear a couple of years ago, and he's been asking me for this sweater for ages. The yarn that I'm using in this lovely Moomin bag is big box yarn, West Yorkshire Spinners again. This is the Croft in their Aran weight, and it's in the colourway Laxfirth, and it's just this very I say it's quite a flat colour, but it's a nice colour, just a deep grey with a sort of hint of blue in it, I suppose. But this is such a good workhorse yarn, and I've knit, I think this is my third project using this yarn and this weight, and it's just a really nice reliable yarn. The colours don't bleed, it's a nice weight, it's quite plump, it doesn't bloom that much when it's blocked, so it's nice and easy to predict what your gauge and what the final fabric is going to be. The length for this is 166 metres per 100 grams, so yeah, it's a really nice yarn. And I bought this for another test knit that I was supposed to do a couple of years ago, but I just ran out of steam, so I ended up dropping out of the test knit, which isn't something I do. I think that's the only time I've ever done that. So I had all this yarn left over, and I thought it'd be perfect for a jumper for my partner because it's the right gauge. So yes, that's my main WIP that I'm working on at the moment. Not much to show you just yet, but I only recast this on yesterday afternoon, so I don't think I'm doing too badly. But I have to show you these stitch markers. I don't know if it'll focus on that. These are from Spin Godin, and she's a dyer in the Netherlands, and she makes these beautiful little stitch markers. So she goes out for a little walk or whatever every day and picks little tiny flowers, little leaves and seed pods and things, and then she sets them in resin and makes these gorgeous little stitch markers. They are so pretty. And of course I have the obligatory Moomin on there as well. Come on, focus. There we go. Because you have to have something Moomin related, right? So yeah, really looking forward to doing a bit more on this. I'm hoping to get the yoke finished so I can split for sleeves in the next few days, and then I can just put it in the sort of more mindless knitting pile. So that is about it that I'm working on at the moment. So let's talk about knitting plans. Okay, knitting plans and weaving plans actually. So I've got a weaving project in mind. I made a couple of gifted scarves for Christmas for various people. I think I showed you the one for my sister that was in cotton, but I didn't show you the one for my mother-in-law. So I'll put a little picture of it up here now. It's already been gifted, so I can't show it to you unfortunately. But for the warp I used a 4-ply merino, and for the weft I used a really, really fluffy alpaca merino mix. It was gorgeous, and the finished scarf just felt beautiful. One of my partner's colleagues has been absolutely wonderful. He's helped us out with some stuff this year, so I wanted to make him a scarf to say thank you. So I'm thinking of something that really, really classic, like a camel coloured, super soft merino, to make him a beautiful scarf in. So I've got some weaving projects in mind. Also, I've got starting to accrue a lot of hand spun, and I really, really, really want to make some nice chunky scarves out of it. So I'm going to start experimenting with doing that. A couple of people have contacted me about the weaving, and specifically asking about resources, things like that. So if you're not interested in weaving, skip to the next chapter. I'll only be a couple of minutes. So I have an Ashford rigid heddle loom. Last year I did a 2-day workshop, a one-to-one workshop with a lovely weaver in Amsterdam, but I'm such a newbie, I don't really know what I'm doing either, but I love learning new techniques and new things, and I'm really, really enjoying weaving. It's just a different way of using my yarn, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. So the most common questions I'm getting are, one, am I using wool for my warp? Yes I am. This yarn here, this woolly knit 4-ply, is perfect for doing warping. It's on a cone, so you don't have to worry about breaks and things. Also, it's a nice strong 4-ply, so it can take quite a lot of tension. The one thing I will say about using wool to warp your loom is don't keep the tension too high, because whenever you weave something, it decreases in size that way and that way. So the tighter you stretch your warp in tension, the more shrinkage you're going to get after you take it off the loom. So you don't need to keep it super, super tense. It can be not relaxed, so you can, twang the warp, but it should be comfortable. The other question I've been getting is resources. So Ashford, even if you haven't got an Ashford rigid heddle loom, they do an excellent series of tutorials. I'll put the link for how to warp the loom down below if you're interested, but feel free to have a look through those. They're really, really useful resources. The other thing I recommend is this book. So when you're doing a workshop or something, you get so much information, you can't possibly remember everything. So I feel like even if you've done some sort of workshop or course or whatever, it's helpful to have a little reference guide for how to bind off your work, or how to troubleshoot issues with your salvage and all that kind of thing. So this book, The Rigid Heddle Weaving Complete Guide, is really, really good, and it's not something you would read from start to finish, but it's definitely useful. It's also got some projects in here to try for different skills that you might want to do, like using pickup techniques, doing double weaving, that kind of thing. So yeah, if you're interested, I definitely recommend this book. So that's that. Other actual knitting plans. I've got so much that I want to knit this year, I don't know where to start. So my mother-in-law has asked me to knit her a jumper. Now normally when people ask me to knit jumpers, I say no. I don't mind voluntarily offering to knit a jumper, but it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's very flattering to be asked, but it's so much work. But my mother-in-law, she is Greek, so my partner is Greek originally. He still has Greek citizenship. And where she came from, if they didn't make the clothes themselves, they didn't have clothes. So I know how much she appreciates handmade things, so I don't mind knitting her something at all. I have ordered some yarn, just some drops, because I want something nice and fluffy and very, very soft, because she does not like anything with any scritch factor at all. Like, this would be way too scritchy for her. For me, it's fine. I can wear this on my skin. I don't have any t-shirt or anything on under here. But for her, it's just too scritchy. So I have ordered some Drops Air in a beautiful bright red colour. She loves wearing red. And I'm going to make her the Felix sweater. I'll put a little picture up here of it. I've never knit it before. It seems to be a really, really nice pattern and very popular. I've avoided it, to be honest, because it's not a size inclusive pattern, and I don't really feel comfortable knitting patterns that aren't size inclusive, because I just think it's not fair. Honestly, it's a bit lazy on the part of the designers, if I'm honest. It's very easy for me to say that because I'm not a designer, but yeah, if other designers can do it, why can't all of them? But anyway, enough about that. So I will be knitting the Felix for her. I'm really looking forward to casting it on, because it's going to be a nice, simple stockinette project that I can really get my teeth into and carry around with me, and doesn't require too much thought. So yes, I'm looking forward to making that. Other knitting plans, I'm going to try again this year. I think I said the same thing last year, to knit from my books a bit more. So the first of my knitting plans is from this book, 52 Weeks of Scrap Yarn. This book is beautiful. I'm so glad I bought it. It's got so many cool ideas in there. I often find that even if I don't knit directly from books, that they're often quite inspirational for drafting my own things, or for, I don't know, just feeling inspired to make things. So I'm thinking, a lovely viewer sent me this. How gorgeous is that? It's a Moomin stencils. One of the prize winners from the MAL last year in Japan, She sent me a Christmas card with this inside it. How gorgeous is that? Really thoughtful. Anyway, so this is the Astor sweater. And I really like the shape of this, and I love the neckline, and I absolutely love the little flower details on there. I think it's gorgeous. So you add the flowers on afterwards using embroidery. Just trying to find a close-up picture of the, there we go, the little flowers that you pop on there, little asters. And this is a size inclusive pattern. It comes in 10 sizes, and the chest circumference goes from 36 to 70 inches, which is 90 centimetres to 175 centimetres. I think I'll probably do an upper bust circumference measurement for this one, and maybe increase the raglan a little bit to make the fit nice. But I want quite a slouchy sweater. I'm not sure what yarn I'm going to use for this. This is for... It's for DK, but let me just confirm that that is the case and I'm not telling you fibs. Yeah, a DK or worsted weight yarn. And I've got some beautiful yarn from Nocturne Studio in my stash that I think will be perfect for this. And then I intend to use bits of scrappy yarn to do the flowers. Hey, you know all that leftover yarn I've got from my cowl? That would be perfect with a deep navy blue in the background. So anyway, I've got loads of stuff in my stash, little bits of scraps and stuff that I can use for the pullover. So yeah, so I do this. I start talking about what I'm thinking about doing, and then I have more ideas, and then my brain is going instead of my mouth. So yeah, it's a really cute pattern. This is definitely on my list for this year. So that's the first one from this book. The next one from this book, The Art of the Sea. This is a Moomin inspired book from Liner magazine, and I'm holding the page with some photographs which I'm going to talk about later. Pop those there. This is the Dynamite Slipover, and it's a very, very simple, slightly textured slipover that I think will go with lots of different outfits. If there's a better picture there of the texture, I don't know if you can see that. But I'm thinking that this is going to be a really nice versatile pattern that I can wear with lots of different outfits and over skirts and dresses. I live in skirts and dresses, so yeah. Okay, this comes in 9 sizes and fits a chest circumference from 37.5 inches to 69 inches, which is 95 to 175 centimetres. They've made it in mohair. How have they done this? Oh, so it's made with 3 strands of lace weight silk mohair held together. That makes it quite a pricey project. I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to do it with unspun, held double. And I think that should make quite a nice gauge. So this is a 4mm needle pattern, which is a US 6. So yeah, something like some of my Neutered and held double would be perfect. I'm thinking of making it in a really similar colour to the picture. I've got some really deep brown left over with a kind of a purpley tint to it that I think would be really nice. The only downside of using such a dark yarn for something with a delicate texture is you won't see a lot of the texture. So I'll have a look and see what I've got, and yeah, take it from there. But I'm thinking this is going to be maybe even my next cast on. The other thing that I'm thinking of making is the book is up there. I'll put a picture up here instead. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's the Rihi sweater from Ronya Hakalito in her book Lakeside Stitches. And I've wanted to make this ever since I bought the book. It's the reason I bought the book. It's a gorgeous kind of Scandinavian inspired deep yoke colourwork sweater. And I've already got the yarn for it. I've got a mixture of various different DK weight woolly wools. Some of it Norwegian, some of it local. You know, it's a bit of a mix and match. But I really, really want to make this sweater. See, I want to cast on everything now. Why do we... Oh, I need like 6 pairs of hands to do all of this. I just don't have the time. But anyway, so yeah, I will be casting that on in the not too distant future. and I really, really want to wear it. My partner and I, we have booked a week in Iceland in March, and I'm really hoping to be able to take this sweater with us when we go there. So yeah, I just said I'll be doing the slip over next, but there's no way that I'm going to finish both of those before then. So I need to do this sweater. Like I said, I need 6 pairs of hands. What can I do? Anywho, so it's a beautiful sweater, and yeah, as I said, I've already got the yarn in stash. So as the main colour, I'm going to use a sort of a really deep olive green, and then I'm going to mix and match other bits of similar weights for the yoke. I think I'm going to go for quite a high colour contrast with different colours, but some oranges and browns and creams and things. So I think it's going to look quite interesting and quite individual. So yeah, that's my immediate knitting plans. The other thing that I'm planning on doing is related to the MAL that I would like to run. So it's my podiversary coming up, and I thought rather than just doing a giveaway, why not run a little MAL? I always feel so flat this time of year. It's so wonderfully chaotic over the festive period. I have a really big family, and everything's busy, everyone's cooking together and going out for meals and going out doing stuff, and just it's also, you know, nice, and then I come home and it's flat, which is sad really, because the new year should all be about sort of new beginnings and fresh starts, or just taking stock of what's been before. So I thought, to make myself focus on all of the good things that are going to be happening this year, I would run a MAL. And the theme of the MAL is cables. The reason I've chosen that is because I have never made an all over cable jumper. I'm a little bit scared of cables, which is silly really, because as long as you can do other knitting techniques and follow a pattern, you'll be fine. So yes, the theme of the make along is cables, and I thought it would run from today until the 30th of April. If you've got a WIP that includes cables, you'll feel free to enter. That's absolutely fine. Anything with cables is welcome, from little hand warmers to a massive blanket, whatever you feel like. So I'm going to cast on some self-drafted knee warmers. I have bad knees. Years of playing rugby, doing archaeology. I studied archaeology at university many years ago and worked as an archaeologist for a while. Years of abusing my knees has left me with kind of arthritis in my left knee and just general creakiness. So when it's cold like this, my knees do suffer. So I would like to make myself some nice knee warmers. And I was thinking, my parents gifted me this. I'm going to pick out a really nice, big, thick, chunky cable pattern and make myself some squishy, very unflattering knee warmers. But that's fine. As long as they do the job, I don't care. I'm thinking of using this yarn that I showed you earlier. This is Rauwerk. It's from here in Germany. They have a dye studio down near Munich, I think it is, München. And yeah, this is I bought this years ago. I bought it to make a sweater when I didn't really have a grasp on what size I needed to knit, or gauge and all that kind of thing, because I'd only ever knit sort of accessories and flat pieces before then. And this is a 2-ply woolen spun DK. 100 grams is 220 meters, and it's really gorgeous. The colour is so deep and beautiful, and I thought it was sort of dark and neutral enough to give me a nice stitch definition, but at the same time not be too like, I'm wearing knee warmers. They'll kind of mute into my black tights or whatever it is that I'm wearing. So yes, I've got 2 skeins of this, and I'm going to make some knee warmers with some cables on them. So I hope you would like to join me. There will be 3 prize bundles. Found them. So in one of the prize bundles there will be this little project bag, which a lovely lady in a yarn shop in Dusseldorf gifted me. But also my dad he does leatherworking, and he has made 3 beautiful DPN holders. How cute are they? So he made one for me as well, which is here somewhere. There it is. And he's put these poppers on and everything. They're just, oh, he's very clever. So yeah, he's made me these to go in as part of the prize bundle. If you're a vegan or you don't want to have leather work, don't worry, we'll figure something out if you win. But yes, this will be part of the prize bundles. There'll also be some yarn yet to be purchased or picked out. So yeah, you can enter by putting pictures of your finished objects, please, on Ravelry. There'll be a thread in my Made by Mumino Ravelry group, which is already open, so feel free to go there and introduce yourselves. You can also enter on Instagram by using the hashtag MBM Cable MAL, MAL 26. All of these details are down in the show notes. Or if you are not on Ravelry and you're not on Instagram, feel free to email me your pictures of your finished objects, and I will draw the prize after the 30th of April, which is the end of the MAL. So that's not really enough time, I know, to make a giant cable knit sweater, but just a little hat or some hand warmers or anything you fancy will be absolutely fine. And I hope it inspires you to try cable knitting if you've never tried it before, because yeah, I'm going to be learning a little bit about cable knitting too. So yeah, is there anything else to say about it? I don't think so. Other than, I already said WIPs are welcome. Let me just have a look at my notes because I don't want to forget to say something. Oh, I've made a bundle of free patterns on Ravelry. So if you go to my group, Made by Mumino, you'll see the little bundles there. And I've also linked it in the thread for the MAL as well. So if you want some inspiration for a few nice hats and things like that, go and check those out. So yes, that is the MAL. The only other thing to show you is some beautiful yarn that I was gifted. 1 second. So I haven't bought any yarn in a long time. I've been trying to use my stash. But I have had advents and things like that. So, you know, I have had other yarn in different ways. But my partner for Christmas, my goodness me, he outdid himself. As many of you will know, if you've been here for a while, one of my favourite dyers, maybe my actual favourite dyer, is Ross of the WE Yarn Company. And my partner, absolutely off his own bat, contacted Ross and said that he would like to commission a colourway just for me. And Ross made this. I couldn't get over it. So I opened the parcel, and inside the parcel was 2 envelopes. One with a picture of Ross and one with a picture of Ross's dog, Winnie, quality control. I was thoroughly confused. So I thought, why is my partner giving me pictures of Ross and his dog? I mean, they're lovely, but why? And then I opened it and I saw this. And I'm afraid there were some tears. I couldn't believe it. Plus, he's called it the cat's pyjamas. So my name is Catherine, but all my friends call me Cat, and my partner always calls me Cat. So it's just, I just couldn't believe it when I saw this. So I have 6 skeins of this gorgeousness, and it's probably my favourite base that I've ever used. This is Castor Lace, which is 50% Falkland Merino, 25% Gotland and 25% Corriedale. It is gorgeous. It is so soft. I've used this in colour work and I've used it to make a shawl, and it's just beautiful. It just works so well. So 100 grams of this is 650 metres. So you can hold it singly or you can hold it double to make it up to more like a 4-ply. Both work really, really well. I don't know what I'm going to make with this. It needs to be something really special. Something that really shows off the yarn. So something very, very simple, like, I don't know, a lento or something even. Just something really nice and plain and simple. But I will sit on this for as long as it takes to think of the perfect pattern. These are so my colours. It's like autumn sunshine. And it's just, beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I'm always really attracted to greens as well. And I'm just, nothing more to say. But yeah, that's the only yarn that I've had over the last month or so, other than my lovely yarn advent. Gosh, I'm so spoiled. It's the only yarn I've had. Anyway, so yeah, that's not an irresponsible purchase, but a very, very lovely acquisition and adoption to my embarrassing yarn stash. So there we go. Right, I think that is all that I have to talk about today. There are no tours or anything at the end of this episode, sadly. Hopefully it will be back to business as usual in the next couple of weeks, and I'll at least take you to my local yarn shop. But anyway, a very happy new year to you, and I hope that you're enjoying the season. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere, I do envy you right now in the Southern Hemisphere, I must say. It's cold, but this is what we knit for, isn't it? So yeah. Anyway, have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in 2 weeks' time on Tuesdays for my next episode. Take care. Bye.